Hey everybody, what's up and welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Liz, your host here at Untold. Sorry about my appearance. It's a lovely day. Also, apologies for not uploading on Saturdays. It's been a little chaotic with going back to school, but anywho, I'm back here with another unsolved true crime case, and we are going to England today, and then we're going to go back to Australia after this one, because I've found a lot of Australian crimes that I really enjoy. So the case we're going to talk about today is known as the Peasenhall murder, and this remains a very prominently unsolved murder in England. So this unsolved murder plagues Peasenhall, England. That's where it happened, where it took place. This is the ultimate of ultimate vintage cold case that occurred on May 31st, 1902. Yes, we're kicking it old school. This is, as of this year, God, 121 years old. This case is 121 years old, which is kind of terrifying to think of because, I mean, it's 2023 and this happened in 1902. So, but anywho, so this murder, it like holds that typical niche of a perfect story and the perfect dark storyline of a murder happened on one night, a dark, stormy night in a country town, because that's legit this murder. No, I'm not kidding. There was a thunderstorm that night. The crime took place around midnight in a home in a small country town. What's not to love about a deep, dark murder like that? So, William Harsent, which is our murder victim's dad. So our murder victim is Rose Harsent. So William Harsent goes to the home in which Rose was at, and he found her on June 1st, 1902. Her body was at the bottom of the stairs, and I'm looking downwards because I have my notes down here. I'll show you. I literally have, this is all my notes. I tend to refer to these. So if you ever see me like looking down or kind of like doing one of these, if I'm filming with my camera, today I'm filming on my Mac because my camera is a douche. So if you ever see me looking in like an odd area, it's because I'm referring to my notes and that's what I have. If it makes it easier, I'll just keep it right in front of me and I'll keep my handy dandy little pen out because sometimes I can't even read my own writing. So, and I want you guys to, like, it's not just me staring, like, yelling at you at a screen. I'm actually have my, like, I thoroughly research these cases before I do them. I want you to know that. And I'm not, like, reading off of a website. If you, like, see a glare in my glasses, I have a ring light up there, like, it just to, you know, make me not look dead because I am extremely pale. And I do refer to my case notes. So, like I was saying, he found her body at the bottom of the stairs. She was covered in stab wounds and gash wounds, but that's not all. Her neck was slashed. And she was lying in a pool of blood, which I would assume is from all of the stab marks and the slashing of her throat. So it's believed she had been dead for approximately 4 to 6 hours prior to her being found, so around midnight, because he was at the home relatively early that morning. Some source materials say between 6 and 8 a.m., so 4 to 6 hours before. Another thing about her body is that they initially believed she died because of suicide, because of the throat slashing, but during further examination, it revealed that she was indeed 6 months pregnant at the time of her murder, and her body had signs of somebody trying to burn her, like she was charred, some parts of her, and her nightgown she was wearing also had burn marks on them, which was kind of odd, because it's not something you would typically, like, see, but yeah. So here we are, we have a 6-month pregnant dead woman at the bottom of the stairs in a home. What happened? So I have 3 suspects, and like I said, this case still remains unsolved because we have no idea what the hell happened. So our first suspect is a man named William Gardner. Now, if I have any pictures or find any pictures of these suspects, I will put them on the screen right next to me, which is where my lovely finger is pointing to. Yeah, and how their names are spelled probably underneath. Anywho, so William Gardner is our suspect number one, and he was the choir master at the Congregational Methodist Church in Peasenhall. And Rose was actually one of the girls on the choir. So he is the prime suspect because there was rumors floating around that him and Rose were having an affair, and that started approximately 6 months ago. How far along is she? She's 6 months pregnant, which she hid from a lot of people because back in that time, you're having a child out of wedlock. That's a no-no. And you are a pious woman, so this is like bad juju's all around. Bad juju. So the allegations that he was getting freaky with a younger woman. He's married and he has 6 kids with his wife. Like, that in the home him and his wife lived in with their kids, they could literally see the house in which Rose was in, which is the Providence House. And that's where the murder was committed. Like, where the Gardners were living, you could literally see the house. Like, it wasn't that far. So he was quickly arrested after the murder, and he was tried twice for the murder. But any charges against him were acquitted because they couldn't find anything to, like, fully tie him to it other than the allegations of a possible affair. I mean, it ended up in a hung jury twice, so all charges were just released. So our second suspect is Georgina Gardner, which is William's wife. Now, she's added to the suspect pool because, obviously, if your husband is getting freaky with a younger lady, I mean, I would be quite rageful, angry, you know. My husband's doing a dirty with a younger woman, while here I am at home with our 6 children. Nay, there's something wrong with the situation. You made a vow to me to be loyal to me. You be loyal to me, not to another woman, and get her pregnant. Nay. So this possibly could have been her falling into a fit of rage if she went to go and confront Rose about everything. Like, maybe she had just heard about it and she was in a fit of rage. She went over to the Providence House from her own home and basically was like, straight up, girl, are you getting freaky with my husband? And maybe things escalated and she freaked out, and which could kind of make sense because of the way that Rose died, is severely frenzied. I mean, stab wounds, gash wounds, plus her neck was cut, then she was burned or attempted to be burned. Like, it's all over the place. It's entirely plausible, but we don't know. And our third and final suspect is a young man who's a neighbor, and his name is Frederick James Davis. Now, he's often brought up in relation to this case because he admitted that he wanted Rose. And he admitted this after William Gardner was arrested and tried for the murder. He admitted to lusting after her, sending her love notes, sending her raunchy poems. Like, he was so into her. He was infatuated with her. But it never, any correlation to him in this murder never held any face value. And they were quick to let go of his possible involvement with her death. And like I said, this case remains unsolved to this day because they just don't know. But yeah. So that, my friends, is the murder of Rose Harsent and the Peasenhall murders, or Peasenhall murder of England. A very, very peculiar case, but I wanted to cover it because it's a very interesting one. So I'll see you guys in my next one.